boy. That's right, kids. There's nowhere to practice. So I just came out here to this park. This is right down the street from my house. So I used to practice here a lot. Years ago, before I was a member at the place where I'm a member now. So this is a pretty big park. There it is. Pretty big park, right? There's a baseball field, baseball field, baseball field. And this usually fills up with water whenever it rains, but it hasn't rained in a couple of weeks, so let's get to practicing. I am itching to swing my club. My God. I don't really have a target. I'm just gonna shoot down there for now. Then I'll pick up all my stuff, take it over there, start up.
Let's address some things, yeah? Are you guys sick of me already? I know I've been pumping out content like crazy. Part of it is because I'm not booking. I haven't booked anything in about a week and a half. Another part of that is because, you know, we're quarantined. And I will give you an update. Dragonfly opened yesterday. Yesterday I played at my home course for the first time in a week. That was great. I'm very happy that it has opened up. So let's discuss a couple of things, my amigos. Go ahead and grab your popcorn or your coffee or your breakfast or whatever it is that you like to enjoy. Sit down and hear some positivity, my amigos. Let me tell you the story of Jim Rohn and how I found him. In 2012, I was 32 years old. And I was about to graduate from college, and I didn't know exactly where I was headed at that point in my life. I had been a voice actor in 2012 for 5 years, as a professional working voice actor. In 2008 was when I started booking. But I had actually started pursuing it in 2004. At the age of 24, I found a school in San Francisco where I could drive to and learn how to become a voice actor and how to read copy and how to be a professional. But there were dips, there were ups and downs in my life where I didn't really know where I was going and what I was doing. I was focusing on the wrong stuff. So I didn't actually begin booking until 2008. So there was a 4-year period of going to school, driving to San Francisco, taking classes, doing auditions, trying to feel my way through the industry before I actually started booking. So in 2012, I was going to college and I was completing my bachelor's degree in broadcast journalism. But I didn't really know what I was doing. I was in a 4-year or a 5-year relationship at that time. I wasn't sure if I wanted to get married. I wasn't sure if I wanted to have kids. I wasn't booking super consistently. I was booking enough to pay my bills. Like, that's all I've done for a long time. But I wasn't entirely sure where I was headed in my life. And I needed some guidance. And I went through a period of a couple of months. And this doesn't happen very often because I just don't allow myself to get that way. I'm a pretty optimistic person, and I've always been. And I had a pretty deep little set of not knowing what I was doing with my life. So I sought the answer. I just Googled positivity, I think. And Jim Rohn came up. And I remember exactly where I was. I was in bed. It was the middle of the day. And I just listened to him, and I was captivated by his message. Everything that Jim said completely put everything in my life into perspective. It allowed me to see the light, to see that basically what I was missing, and I think a lot of us, what we're missing is just some basic fundamentals to life, such as writing down goals, being on time, being happy, having a focus, having a direction to go towards, that's what I was missing. And it was a very simple piece of the puzzle that I was missing, but it made such a big difference in my life at that time. And so when I found him, it completely glued it together, and it made me see the light, like where I was going. It really put things into perspective, so where I could actually write it down and say, oh my goodness, it's my skills. I just have to work on my skills. I have to work on building myself as a person. And keep in mind, guys, that I was in college at this time, pursuing a degree in broadcast journalism, and I was already a working voice actor. So it's not like I wasn't doing the right things to become successful, but the way that he said the things that he said, when I started listening to him, it really solidified it and let me know that, dude, it's gonna be okay. Just think positive, have goals, have some direction, head in that direction. Listen, Yosemite is 45 minutes away from Fresno. Okay, it's north. It's headed north. It's a very windy road. It takes longer than 45 minutes. It takes about an hour and a half to get there, maybe an hour and 15 minutes, because of the winding roads. This isn't a car. So this is the way I always look at stuff, is if I started walking towards Yosemite, going north, it would take me a long time to walk there. But so long as I head in that direction, eventually I will get there. Yes, it's gonna take a long time. Yes, there's gonna be barriers, but eventually I will get there. And that's the way I kind of look at everything now, is that yes, it's going to take a long time to get to wherever I'm going. So long as we walk in that direction, I can assure you that we will get to where we want to get to. We have to walk in the direction of success, of positivity, of happiness. The only way to get there is start walking, start crawling. Let's start working towards happiness and success. And what I'm trying to tell you is that Jim Rohn solidified where I needed to get to. And so that's why I uploaded that video last night. It's I've been talking to some friends who are typically in a really good mood, some friends that are financially stable, and yet they're even saying things that just don't make any sense to me. Saying things like, man, this virus is gonna get you. We're gonna have a depression. We're gonna be standing in a line at a soup kitchen. Come on. Like, have some positivity. You're filling your mind with the wrong stuff. So whenever that happens to me, I seek the answer, and that answer for me is always Jim Rohn. So if I could introduce it to you and you could benefit from it, then that makes me happy, because Jim Rohn really solidified things for me a long time ago. You know, it's been almost 10 years since I found him. And anytime I go through dips emotionally, which is extremely rare, because I just don't allow it to happen to myself. I convince my brain, I reprogram my computer so that I don't fall into dips. Like he was saying, it's not what happens to you that matters, it's how you deal with the issue. And I just don't allow things to control how I feel. I control how I feel. I'm not going to be controlled by fear. I'm not going to be controlled by how somebody else talks to me. Discussing emotional fitness, it's very important to seek the answer. Anytime you're lost, seek the answer. A really great person to listen to is Jim Rohn. I've always wanted to be a motivational speaker ever since I was a kid. Ever since I was like 9 or 10 years old. I remember my dad used to listen to a lot of motivation on tapes. Sales motivation, sales techniques, and such on tapes. Zig Ziglar, Og Mandino. Great speakers like these men. And I just knew when I was 9 or 10 years old that I wanted to be a motivational speaker. So that's why I like making these videos, although I don't really know how to make them, because I don't want to, shove anything down people's throats and make them feel like I'm trying to teach you something. I'm not. I'm just trying to practice my own motivation. And if you can get some crumbs off of the things that I'm saying, then fantastic. Then it's working. I want to speak less and take more action. And so that's why I include B-roll, this video of me practicing while I rant and babble about motivation. I don't want to so much talk to you about motivation, because talking about it doesn't really help. I want to show it to you. I want to show you that I'm working as hard as I possibly can to be motivated, so that can motivate you, so that you get up and you look at some of this content and say, oh yeah, that's what I need to do. I just need to work, head in the positive direction, and things will begin to happen. The only way that happens is with goals, writing stuff down, and then scratching it off after you've completed it. I think that's it. I don't want to make these too long, because I hope to build on them eventually. I don't want to burn you guys out. I'm not entirely sure how to showcase some of this stuff. So some of this is trial and error, which is one of my favorite things, is trial and error. I do want to address one last thing about the video with Zepp and the ruling, how I ruled against him. I guess you guys have spoken by not speaking. Nobody commented on that video, and what that leads me to believe is that you guys thought that I was in the wrong, and I'm okay with that, guys. I'm okay being the goofy villain. I think some of you took that video worse than Zepp did, and I do have to commend Zepp on how well he took that video. How well he was, how cool he was about that. It was a huge lesson learned. It's something I can almost guarantee you he'll never do in competition. We learned from those things. That's a barrier. That's falling down. And yet he was so cool about it at that age. I mean, the kid's 17 years old. What would I have reacted like if I would have seen that? I don't know. I remember playing with a group of guys that would penalize me all of the time. The way I learned was I was being penalized left and right when I first started playing golf. It's one of the rites of passage in playing golf whenever you're competing, is that you have to be penalized so that you don't do it anymore. And I remember when I first started playing, I was penalized heavily. Not moving my ball back to where it was supposed to be, not dropping correctly, hitting out of turn. One time, I bet a guy $100. I gave him 10 strokes. He was an older gentleman. He was probably about 60 years old, and he was a professional gambler. He was a dealer at Table Mountain Casino, which is a casino here in the valley. And he bet me $100, and all I had to do was give him 10 strokes. I was down 2 strokes to him. In other words, I had almost caught up to him, and there was 3 holes to go. And I was so flustered because I hadn't been playing for that long. I hadn't been competing for money for that long. And I teed up outside of the tee box, guys. And I remember we were playing in a group of 5 guys, and everybody looked at me like, what is he doing? Is he about to do this? And my mind, because I wasn't thinking properly, because I didn't have the experience, I could see that they were trying to tell me something with their eyeballs. They would look at the ball, and then they would look at me, and then they would look down at the ball, and I was teeing outside of the tee box. But because I was so young and inexperienced, I fell for it. I teed up outside of the tee box, and that's a 2-stroke penalty. I was penalized for it. I lost $100. It hurt. But believe me, I've never done it since. I now dot my I's and cross my T's when it comes to making dumb mistakes on the golf course. I'm not perfect. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that you learn from those happenings whenever you fall down and then get back up. It's just a barrier that you have to get over. So all I have to say is that Zepp took that in stride. I became the goofy villain, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I watched a lot of cartoons growing up, so I'm okay being the goofy villain once in a while. Don't take it so serious, guys. It's just a video. If Zepp was cool about it, you guys should be cool about it. Come on. Comment on it. Say, hey, Mike, you were a douchebag for how you treated the kid. I'm okay with that. Totally cool with that. And I can assure you, Zepp will never do that again. He'll never make that mistake again. I'll never make that mistake again. And who knows, you guys will probably never make that mistake in competition because you saw that. So we all learned from it. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say. I hope you guys are staying happy, healthy, trying to build your skill set. Let's work together to having a better future, guys. Let's work together to be more positive, to be motivated, to build our skill set, to be financially literate, to read the books that we have to read, to watch the videos that we have to watch, to be happy, to be successful so that we can pass that on to other people. Oh yeah, my big house. Yeah, boy. I love it. I love positive motivation. I love influencing in a positive way. I hope we can work together to be happy, my friends. Oh yeah. That's it. Look at my little doggy in the back. Squealy! She's so obedient. What a good little dog she is. My swing is coming along. Oh, by the way, Zepp and I played yesterday. We had a great competition, man. I'm looking forward to showing you guys these videos. It's gonna be great. It is gonna be awesome. Yeah, he's got a bright future, and I hope you guys enjoy the videos. It takes me it takes me hours and hours and hours. And let me say one last thing about motivation and working hard and pushing through the adversity, my friends, is that, you know, it takes me 3 to 4 hours to edit some of these videos, guys. To get 50 or 60 views after I've been doing this for 4 years? Like, what am I doing? Am I stupid? You really have to ask, Mike, are you a freaking idiot? It's taking me 4, 5 hours sometimes to edit some of these videos. To get under 100 views, that is absolutely pathetic. It's laughable how many views I get, that it just doesn't get the exposure. I'm okay with that. That's adversity. You gotta work through things. I've been doing this for 4 years. I'm 100% okay with it. Let the barriers come. I'm gonna get over them. We have to get over them. There's gonna be a ton of barriers for the rest of your life. You've got to get over the barriers. You've got to get through the adversity. You've got to plow through. It's just the way it is. That's life. So yeah, I guess maybe I am stupid. I'm blind because of adversity. But I'm okay with that. I'm willing to plow through. I'm willing to push through. I'm willing to work so that the future Mikey boy, so that my future listeners, the people that watch this content, the few that watch this content, get something from it. I'm not selling you a thing, guys. Keep that in mind. I have nothing to sell. I don't tell you to subscribe or like. Personally, I don't care. I just don't. I don't want to be that guy. Don't forget to smash the like bell. Smash the I don't want to do that. I'm doing it to build my skill set. I hope we're building our skill set together. Seek financial freedom, seek motivation, and seek happiness. That's it.